I am live in Studio 2A with Billy Sedlmayr. What a treat to get to sit in this room together and catch up a little bit. How have things been, Billy?
Okay, fair to middling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got a show coming up on Friday at Hotel Congress with the Mother Higgins Children's Band.
Yes, I do.
Tell me, before we hear a song real quickly,
Okay, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that band and when it formed.
Okay, it formed organically, as most things do that are good. And it formed about 3 years ago, maybe a little less, when Gabe got me to go into Jim Waters' place and do a couple, like, not demos, but to see what it sounded like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of my songs. And then we did a thing and got some bread and went in and got Tuya on bass and then Vibes, because he's a great guy. Everybody is in the band. Winston Watson, old drummer, and guy I've known forever. And Jason Ehrman on accordion and on keys. And Connor Gallagher on pedal steel and electric guitar. And then Gabriel Sullivan is the band leader and arranges some things and plays all instruments. And so it just, it was the studio band, you know. And the first record, they sort of went in and laid a lot of stuff down. Gabe had them lay stuff down. And I just kind of came in and did the vocals, you know, because I'd been kicking with these songs for a long time. And then we started playing some gigs, and I thought, wow, you know, it needs a name, you know, because Billy Sedlmayr doesn't knock me out exactly. and I thought, well, what would be more appropriate than Mother Higgins Children's Band? Because when I was a kid growing up here, when I was bad, which of course was rare, but not really, and I get threatened, you know, either, I don't think really, but sort of, that, you know, you go to Mother Higgins if you didn't do your chores or whatever, where they'd only give you bread and water. And so it was like, you know, it was the bad place. You didn't want to be there. And it was a real place, you know what I mean? It was a real place with the real Mother Higgins and sort of like the first juvenile detention facility or something in Arizona, you know.
Wow.
So anyhow, they all, like Gabriel took me, well, he didn't take me, but we went together to Austria for the first time. I'd never been to Europe. That was like 3 years ago or maybe something more. And that was so cool, you know. And then I went to France with Leo Schwamm, who writes with me and does some stuff with me too. We do a thing together, and so it's been, the new record is the same guys on the record.
Nice.
And yeah, except this time I took a lot more part of it, and. My guitar is in a lot of it, which is probably scaring people just the thought of it. But I actually do play guitar in about 70 or 80% of the record, so it makes me feel good. I don't know. I hope it's palatable. But anyways, I'm really excited about the new record. I didn't, when I finished the first one, Gabriel's vision for what had been these songs that meant a lot to me, you know. But he did such an unbelievable job, I felt, and that I thought for a while that, whoa, shit, man, shoot, man, that I couldn't make a better record, and then we started making this one of a lot of new songs that I'd written, and a couple with Gabe and a couple with Leo, and I just it's a really, really cool really, really cool record, and everybody's real comfortable with each other. But we don't get together very much to play gigs because everybody's doing their own things, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's an all-star lineup you have there.
Yeah. It's. I should tell you who's on everything real quick.
Sure,
Is that
go ahead.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Tia on bass, who is not from the United States, but he came back with How, I think, Gelb, and is a really beautiful cat and great bass player. And then we got. Did I just say all this?
We talked about it a little bit in the beginning.
Oh my God, I'm a retard.
You're
so
doing just
sorry.
fine, Billy.
And
Don't
God, but Connor on pedal steel. Yeah, I already said this. I'm a horrible interview.
No, you're doing great.
So, anyways, so we really haven't played in about since we were making the record, and we did a lot of the record live. You know, basically just live, and then Gabe goes in and
does
puts some
overdubs.
stuff. Yeah, and he's Gabe's a great arranger, and yeah, I love Gabriel. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
When he loves you too, and that was one of the things that I wanted to comment
I love
on.
Gabe.
I wanted to comment on that record, and that you could really hear Gabe's love for music and transforming your vision and his vision in that, and it's a love affair. You can hear it, creative love affair. It's really amazing. And so, when is the new record coming out? When can we expect it?
I do not know exactly. There's a lot of things going on. They're not all, to be honest, great with people's health and stuff, you know. And it's life 101, and so I'm not really uptight about it. I'd love to get it out, but we're gonna send 4 cuts around, and this time, hopefully, last time we got like this slaughter of good reviews from guys I grew up reading, like Grail Marcus and people like that, which is so now name dropping, what a scumbag. But anyways, I was blown away that people dug it,
Yeah.
So I hope within a half a year, I think, or less, 5 or 6 months, I would hope we'd have it out. Maybe sooner if we get lucky. But for a while, I was caught on calling it sophomore slump, which I thought was really really funny. But it sounds like a dictator's name or something, that the dictators would have had when they were cool. And so anyways, I'll change the name of it. But I wrote a lot of songs. It's not quite as bleak as my first record. And so that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
Feeling kind of bleaky today, but the songs are a little more... let me think. They're a little more uplifting, I think. Not, So, well, you can be the judge, I guess.
Well, let's hear one of those songs.
Okay,
can
cool.
we hear one?
Yeah, this is called Germany, and I wrote it for this girl.
Oh.
For this girl. Over the Baltic Sea, touchdown in Germany, a young mother's face in the Indian embassy. Kids will cry, they will fuss. Sarah draws and blows away the crayon dust. Rain begins to spit. First drop and the whole world's wet. She clenched the clothespins between her teeth, folds the sheets and brings in the laundry. The wage of slavery, it'll drive some lovers crazy. The wage of slavery, It'll drive some lovers crazy. Yep, yep. Curves just like a river, bends just how she please. The cliffs of her refusal, and Pine Ridge the wounded knee. A man can buy a sack of pride at the dollar store. You cannot break what ain't been broke before. Rain begins to spit, first to drop and the whole world's wet. She clenched the clothespins between her teeth, folds the sheets and brings in the lingerie like a woman. The wage of slavery, it'll drive some lovers crazy, crazy. The wage of slavery, it'll drive some lovers crazy. Yep, yeah.
.3 KXCI. You just heard Billy Sedlmayr live in Studio 2A. He'll be playing with the Mother Higgins Children's Band this Friday at Hotel Congress. Louise LaHeur is opening the show. You said you think you might be playing about a 2-hour show?
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, it's going to be a long one. We're going to do a bunch of stuff and really do some stuff from Charm Life that really works well live, and then a lot of the new songs, and pick a few cool covers, and I have a few special guests that'll come down and do some stuff, and it's going to be a real groove, like I really hope people come down, because we haven't played live in I don't know, over 6 months or more. Wow. So, and when we do, there's a lot of love for playing with each other, because it doesn't happen very much.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you first start writing songs, Billy?
Well, I grew up as a drummer, and so I never wrote. I listened to, I looked at every liner note and every lyric thing till they were, emblazoned in my head, or since I was 4 or 5, but when I went, right before I had a band called Las Cruces with Bridget Keating and Mark Slobe and Scott Garber and Jimmy Miller. Anyways, it was a real rock and roll band, and I was just singing, not drumming. And so I started writing a little bit, but then when I was remanded to the Arizona Department of Corrections for a fairly long engagement, I started writing out of I would write short stories and then pull what I wanted to pull from into the song.
Yeah.
And it sort of remained how I do it, But I usually write together, you know what I mean? Like I write with the guitar and the sound of the hook. My voice ain't as pretty as it used to be or anything, but it hopefully my songwriting has gotten better, and I have to hopefully say less to say more.
Yeah.
I hope that would be what I'd want it to be.
And when did you and Gabe, and how did you first meet?
Really cool. Mike Sullivan, who I've heard you have on as guest DJ, right?
Yeah.
And he was so cool. And Mike is like, one of my heroes, and he's been super supportive of me.
Yeah.
And Mike and Violanda Sullivan, and anyways, he told his son Gabriel. He's got 3 sons: Jake, Joe, and Gabe. And Gabe, he told Gabe, "Hey, look up this old cat, Billy Sedlmayr. I've heard some old stuff that I'd done with Richard Hopkins and with the giant sand worms before they became giant sand and stuff like that." So I think I met Gabe first night playing the Red Room, and it's funny, I'd said to my friend Van Christian, I said, "I'll never play the Red Room because they don't pay you. I don't think they paid you or something," right?
In tater tots.
Yeah, right. And I'm a celiac, so I can't eat grease or the cockroaches that were in the tater tots. But the first night I went in there, I started playing, and there was a bunch of people there, which was amazing. And I met Gabe, and then I saw this guy with a cowboy hat, standing up. Very, you can tell when someone loves life, And Mike was just sitting there watching me play, just smiling, and so I remember saying out on the microphone, "That's got to be Mr. Sullivan, who got Gabe to give me a call." And so me and Gabe, Johnny Villa and Gabriel came over to my house one night when I was living in down here off of Stone in the freeway, and I was blown away by their talents, and I got real close with Gabriel, and he seemed to take a liking a liking to me, and I to him, and me to John to Via, who's on the new record. He blows horn on the new album on I think 3 cuts and whistles, so I met Gabe's whole clique of young cats.
They're pretty amazing. That clique.
That clique is pretty freaking amazing, and. We did that video of Tucson Kills down at La Cocina with Ali Barron, and it was really cool. It was like Gabe, and then I did a song with the La Tarif de Tucson when he was doing that, the Rust and Knife, where I just did my poetry, or I don't know, I'm not a poet, but
I would say you are a poet, Billy.
It was sort of prosy poetry, and I just talked, and then Gabe did the main hook, and it kind of got a little popular, and so and then I've written with him on his records, and he writes on mine, and he always makes my songs better, and I love Gabe. I think he's a natural mystic. I know that's a take from Marley's Exodus album, Natural Mystic, but that's what Gabe reminds me of sometimes. And and it's funny in this town. There's always people when people do somewhat well, and I got news for people, Gabriel and Brian and that whole crew. Man, they ain't rich, man. They ain't getting rich. And XA is doing really good, and their future looks bright. But they're paying dues up the yin yang, and working real hard. but people will always, there's always people that say, oh man, you know, those guys think they're so cool. You know, I've heard that, right?
That blows me away, because I don't think those guys have ever acted that way. That's their humbleness, their humanity, their kindness is so amazing, and I feel out there in the public.
Yeah.
So I would.
Yeah, me too.
I think that, you know, if you and I hear anyone who says something like that about them, we'll just take them out to the alley.
Yeah.
Is that a deal?
What I do, and I just people always did that when Giant Sandworms were real popular.
Popularity doesn't necessarily equate to dollars.
No, and it doesn't
world.
Equate to easy either.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys work harder than I did as a kid, you know. I had a lot of other projects. Tearing myself up pretty good was one of them. And but anyways, you know, I feel lucky to still be working with them, and I don't go out much because I don't got a car, but once in a while me and my girl will go out and see a band and stuff, and there's a lot of great bands in this town. You know, I love what Louise does, and Matt over at Mid Island Studios. Great, really cool thing. You know, so there's a lot of really neat stuff in this town, and Gabriel's new studio, Dustin Stone, is doing good. So I guess I'm just trying to say that there's a lot of different things going on, and there's certainly more than enough room for a lot of people.
That's
know,
true.
for a lot of people to shine.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'd love to hear another song.
Okay, I'd love to play you another one off the record, or maybe you know what? I'm gonna play this song, which is not so far on record, but it is brand new. And it is for a really good friend of mine, if I can find it right here.
While you're looking for it, I'm going to remind folks that you're playing Friday night at Congress.
Yeah, please do.
With the Mother Higgins
They
Children's
need to come
Band.
down.
And Louise LaHeur will be opening that show again. That's this Friday at Hotel Congress.
Okay, this song is called Marcelis, and it's for a friend of mine, Claire and Nikki Augustine's son, Marcelis, who's always been something special to me. And anyway, so this is for you, Marcelis. And hey, everybody, come down Friday night. We're going to smoke it. It's going to be a cool night, man, so don't miss it. All right? All right. Say you'll always love me. Yeah, I heard that before. I say you'll always be around as you walk through that door. I suffer little children. On faith you place your bets. What earthly good is love, yeah? Have not and will not guess, at least not yet. Somewhere in the middle of the ocean, a little boy with a net for butterflies. Your mom and dad, they raised a gentle outlaw. He danced around the starfish as they shine. Yeah. Ha! A room of crowded people. Sit down and you'll survive. Waiting on a way back home. And when will that arrive? The warming hand of summer is just enough to melt the winter hand that guides you. And Marcelis, all you've seen and felt. somewhere it's in the middle of the ocean. There's a boy with a net for butterflies. Mom and Dad, they raised the gentle outlaw. Dance around the starfish as they shine. Yep. Ba 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 da da da. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. I spend nights in your casinos. Looking back, I double down on you. Now the sense of wonder that you bring to me, like rain on old tin roofs. Yeah, Ma. Where, ooh, yeah. Say you always loved me. Yeah, I heard that before. I say you'll always be around as you walk through that door. Yeah, somewhere it's in the middle of the ocean. There's a boy with a net for butterflies. And Mom and Dad, they raised a gentle outlaw. Dance around the starfish as they shine. Shine, everybody shine. Na 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 na. Do 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 do. I spent nights in your casinos. Looking back, Pop, I double down on you. All the sense of wonder that you bring to me, like rain on an old tin roof. Get better, Dad.
91.3 KXCI Tucson. You just heard Billy Sedlmayr live in Studio 2A. He'll be performing at Hotel Congress with the Mother Higgins Children's Band this Friday with Louise Laher opening up. Billy, I want to close out this interview just by saying something. You know, in all of your songs and in your music and your poetry, and even when you're talking about Gabe and the Sullivan family, you have so much love for so many people, and I know you're going through a lot right now. So I just want you to know that we all love you back. You're pretty incredible. Everyone here at KXCI loves you, and I know everyone that you mentioned today thinks you're truly special and talented and a love, and I want to thank you for that. And thanks for coming to see me today.
Thanks, Cathy. Can I say one thing?
Sure can.
Okay, Dad, I hope you get better. I know my dad ain't listening to KCI, he's in the hospital, but I just want to
put it out there in the ether.
Tell him I love you, Dad. All right.
Thanks,
Thanks, Cathy, for what you said. That was super nice. And everybody come down, man, because we're going to rip it up.